This perfect, eternal electronic body abides from 12 to 50 feet above the physical body of every individual, unless he be of a very low or destructive type, when it withdraws still farther away. This is the Son, S-O-N, and Son, S-U-N, of God. For the electronic body of every individualized flame of God is a dazzling, blazing light of such intensity that the human eyes can only gaze upon it for the fraction of a second. By adoration to the God flame and purification of its instrument, the personal self, the outer activity of the mind and physical body becomes raised in vibratory attunement to see the electronic body clearly within the blazing light of the force field around it. The physical body, or actual atomic structure of the flesh, is the densest form and is the record of the outer activity of the mind. In certain phases of religious explanation concerning this electronic body, it has been referred to many times as the guardian angel. It is all of that and more when really understood and comprehended. To it, the personal self should look for the supply of every good thing as a child looks to its mother. All that is within the God flame flows into the electronic body, where the tremendous power and intensity of the light of the mighty I Am Presence is stepped down to a degree that can act in the vibratory octave of the physical world. From the heart center of the electronic body flows a stream of life essence or liquid light, which enters the physical body through the pineal gland and fills the nerve channels. This liquid white fire flows through the nerves as blood does through the veins. This beats the heart, moves the muscles of the body, and enables one to walk or raise the hand. It is also the energizing light within the brain cells. The life stream of the body has often been referred to as the silver cord. So it is, for the stream of liquid white light pulsates continually through the flesh body by way of the nervous system. At so-called death, the God presence withdraws the stream of liquid light and the flesh disintegrates. The reason the race continues to experience so-called death is because of the waste of this electronic light through emotional excesses, instead of retaining it within the physical brain and body to rebuild the cellular structure and supply the motive power for the entire body. Mankind does not like to hear this truth, but the waste of the life energy through uncontrolled feeling is the cause of the disintegration of all physical bodies outside of violence. If one used the inner sight to observe the life stream of a strong, healthy child, he will see the nerves of the body full of this dazzling liquid white light. Then, if he observed the body of the same child when ill or fatigued, he will see the light greatly diminished. In an old body, it is still more greatly dimmed, and if one wished to observe the soul passing out of the body at so-called death, he will see this life stream entirely withdrawn at the top of the head, until it becomes only a thin thread of light, which finally breaks. At that moment, the heart ceases to beat. I shall now give you the explanation of the law by which you are able to illumine, raise the physical body, and express the full dominion, victory, and freedom of the ascended masters. The seed within man and woman is only intended for the sacred office of creating a body by which another soul may come into physical embodiment. At all other times, the glorious light within the body should be raised into the top of the head and allowed to flow up in adoration unto the mighty I Am Presence. Then, by uplifted thoughts and feelings, one can do creative work at the mental level through glorious ideas, ideals of art, music, invention, discovery, research, and the creation of beauty and harmony of every description through a service that blesses humanity and therefore the individual who gives it. Instead of wasting the wonderful liquid light, the marvelous God-given essence of life, in sex, sensation, and excesses, whereby the body becomes decrepit, flabby, crippled, the face lined, the eyes dull, the whole structure stooped and feeble, the brain inactive, the sight and hearing impaired, and the memory not able to function. This energy should be rightly used in wonderful, idealistic, creative activity. In such constructive consciousness and accomplishment, the physical body would remain eternally youthful and beautiful. The brain and faculties keen, alert, and active, and the whole physical expression would become the image and likeness of the living God, truly the temple of the Most High. This mighty concentrated electronic force or life essence is a liquid light which flows wherever the attention directs it. The mind's attention is pulled this way and that by thought, feeling, sight, and hearing. In fact, by the pull of all the physical senses. The true understanding of what mighty power is at your command when you have full control over your attention cannot be overestimated. The liquid electronic essence is this mighty energy, and it energizes whatever the attention rests upon. If one be doing intense mental work, the liquid light stays within the brain and flows forth through the center of the forehead between the eyes as a ray of light. And if the inner sight be opened, one can easily and always see it. If one be speaking, this pure mighty energy flows forth through the throat center as sound. If one be pouring out divine love, this liquid light flows forth as a radiance from the heart center. If one be sending out intense feeling, it flows forth from the solar plexus. Here it also performs the function of digesting the food. If one have the inner sight opened, he will see a stream of light pouring out from whatever center the energy is being used at the moment. This pure liquid light becomes colored by whatever quality the personality imposes upon it through the thought, feeling, and spoken word. Here lies one's responsibility as a creator and the means by which he can correct or purify whatever has been wrongly created. If this life essence is released at the generative center for sex pleasure instead of building a new physical embodiment for another soul, the process of disintegration of the physical body is started, and the journey to self-generated dissolution of the body begins. It matters not what human opinion says to the contrary. This is the inevitable, inexorable law of physical embodiment, and there is no person in the universe who can change it. This is the principal reason for the condition that is called death within the race as a whole. Let anyone who disagrees with this truth compare the brain and body of one who conserves this liquid light over a period of a few years with that of one who has wasted it over a similar period, and he will not need any other proof. The conservation of this liquid electronic light and the conscious lifting of it by adoration to the mighty I Am Presence and by the power of the mind through the control of the attention is the way of perfection and is safe, sound, sensible, and reasonable. It can have only harmonious, constructive results to the mind, the body, and world of the individual. This is not a system of repression by the power of the human will. That is and will always be disastrous. For to dam up a highly concentrated energy and then by thought, feeling, and suggestion keep driving it, more of it, to that point, through thinking upon it in secret, must of necessity cause an explosion of some kind to take place. That method never was the original spiritual teaching of anyone who really knew and understood the truth and the law concerning it. Humanity has not, except to a very small degree, understood this truth, or thousands would have become ascended masters long before now. In order to rise out of the degradation, misery, poverty, and disaster in which the mass is now wallowing, the individual must come to a clear understanding of this law in the outer activity of his mind. Through his conscious knowledge and control of the emotions, he shuts the door to the most dangerous and subtle suggestions from the psychic plane, which is the most unrecognized enemy and vicious activity of the sinister force in this world. The feeling nature of mankind is a reservoir of energy, and it is impossible for thoughts to become things until one propels them forth into the sea of electronic substance by feeling.